Well, I'm the Grim Reaper. I was in the Big East when it broke up. That's when I got the Cincinnati job. So then I get to come to UCLA, and that's the end of the Pac-12. So in all seriousness, though, like for me, it's starting to sink in now that we're here at the meetings. I look at my whole career as just with gratitude, just an honor to be the coach at the schools I've been the coach at, but also to coach in different conferences. Having coached how many guys coached in the Big East, the Pac-12, and now the Big Ten. And then, you look around the room, you're in the same room with Coach Izzo. I think back, I used to be in the room with Coach Calhoun and Coach Boeheim. So, it's something I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a great challenge.
What will be the biggest challenge, the biggest adjustment, I guess, for you and your staff once you make the move official?
Well, everybody's going to say, well, travel. Kids are sleeping on anyway. We're watching film and they're sleeping. So the flight's just going to be a little longer. I would say knowing, obviously being from the Midwest, knowing the venues you play in, college towns, well-supported teams, a lot of sellouts, a lot of really tough environments on the road. But I'm more concerned with their players than their students. Their students they're not going to jump over the, over the railing and run on the floor. So I think that the environments will be great for our players because the energy in the building. But the great players, great coaches. It's a super league, obviously. So that's my biggest concern, though, is the quality of the coaches brings the quality of the players. But I just go back to, what an honor. I mean, get to be the coach at UCLA. Now I'm coaching in the Big Ten as well. So it's going to be tough. But, I was in a league a long time ago in the Big East where our 9th place team won the national championship. And they actually tied for 9th, 10th, and 11th that year, UConn. And they had to win 5 in a row to win the Big East title, and then won 6 in a row after that with Kemba Walker's team. But that was just spoke to the depth of the conference, and that's what we're going to have with this league. You got to win 2 out of 3.
Well, you're going to have some tough road trips, but there's also going to be current teams in the Big Ten that are going to have some road trips to Pauley. And for a lot of these players, maybe for some of the coaches, certainly going to be the first conference road game, but for a lot of them, first time ever. They've been inside that building. For someone who's been there and been able to coach there, what are they going to experience? Well,
it's a special place. I purposely begged UCLA to schedule Cincinnati back in my day so I could say I coached 1 game in Pauley. I never dreamt I would coach every game in Pauley. So it's a great experience for everybody in the league, announcers alike, to get to come do games at Pauley Pavilion. A little bit warmer for them to travel, though, when they come out. So, but you hope that softens them up. When they come out and their kids have been freezing back in Wisconsin and Michigan, and they land in LA and it's 73 in January. So it's become such a national conference now that it's truly like I reference it like an NBA mindset, where it's going to be hard to win them all. So you got to keep winning 2 out of 3. You keep winning 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. You can go 15-5. You're going to be one of the best teams in the country, period.
Your schedule is going to be difficult no matter who's on it each and every year. But in a league with 18 teams, and you got great rivalries for the current teams, you got great rivalries coming in for the 4 new teams. You also want to keep some of the non-conference games alive. How do you find an ideal scheduling model?
Yeah, well, look, I think they're keeping it simple early on, with keeping the West Coast teams, and we'll always have our USC rivalry. Again, I've been a part of so many leagues now. You have your television gets to pick some of theirs. You got to pay your bills, and so, and then hopefully you develop some new rivalries. I know when I was at Cincinnati, the Big East broke up. We developed a great rivalry with UConn, with Kevin Ollie, and then with Danny Hurley. Their fans used to really boo me. It was, but they don't boo nobody. So I enjoyed that. They've been really successful lately. Great basketball school, but but it was a rivalry that didn't exist until the leagues came together, is why I bring it up. So I think there'll be some new rivalries come from this. And, you know, we obviously still get Oregon and Washington, obviously SC.
Mick, from a big picture perspective, conversation we have every offseason, not just during this one of transition, is there are those who believe the tournament should expand. There are those that believe that 68 is the number. What do you feel about tournament expansion?
Yeah, you know, coaches all say you got to be for it because more coaches will make it and less coaches get fired. But they'll just move the goalpost. And they're still, so, you know, this day and age, we make so much money that you used to get a job, they're going to give you 5 years to build a program because you couldn't go to the transfer portal. And you would have to get a recruiting class, let them get to their junior year to have a chance to build a program. Times have totally changed, and people want results now. So I don't know if expanding the tournament helps the tournament. Like, to me, you don't do things unless it's going to help. I don't know, so to my brethren, I don't know if it helps coaches because the goalposts will just get moved. Because did you really make the body of 68 or really 64, or didn't you? You know, and how does that all look? But I think if history teaches us anything, money will determine this, not my opinion or yours.
Well, let's finish then with a similar topic, because money is one of the hot button issues with NIL and how we do it the right way to make sure that student athletes get what they should be getting, but not at the cost of whether it's amateurism or schools being treated more unfairly than another school. How close are we? What else still has to be done to get us closer?
Well, I'd say, look, I'm not involved. I read, I obviously follow. I haven't talked to our NCAA president, President Baker. I know he's in D.C. trying to do everything he can. He walked into this, and he's trying to fix it. But you know, we're close to the port of Long Beach, the largest port in our country. I think that ship has sailed, and right now, when depending on whose chair you sit in, you have such a different job than you had 3 years ago. Your athletic director, your fundraisers, and your coaches. Everything's flipped, totally flipped. And it's affecting your schedule. It's totally changed recruiting. And we're all living in a one-year world. And that's just the way it is. And I think we all know it's not healthy. Your concern is long-term, right? We're the adults. So I'm all for everybody getting paid. And not just players, you as well.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, all of us. I'm all for it. But with young people, they still need to be able to get their degree. And how many credits do you lose with each transfer? And how much closer or further away do you get from your degree with each transfer? Sometimes we got to do things to stop young people from making mistakes. So where that line is, I don't have the answer to that. I think the powers that be are all trying to figure it out. We're not there yet, but you know, you mentioned the NIL money. We're in an era where the powerful collective is extremely important, and that's just the truth of the era that we're in. Because you can recruit all you want, but if the other collective comes in with a bigger number, you're in trouble. So you could have wasted 2 years following, you know, some great basketball player around. You could have become best friends with his mom. His grandmother might have baked you cookies at the home visit. If somebody else calls and triples his offer, you're in deep trouble. So that's just the era we're in right now. You got to play those cards. When they change the hand in the poker game, you can't keep playing 5-card stud if they say, hey, now we're playing 7. So, you know, that's the way it is. I got 6 transfers coming in this year.